You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome to Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. This is your host, Tim Link, and I'm so glad you're joining us today. My special guest today is Edgar and Seamus Award-nominated author David Rosenfelt. Inviting David back to the show. He'll be talking to us today about his recently released book, Lessons from Tara, Life Advice from the World's Most Brilliant Dog. So we're going to be interested to hear about that book and all of his writing and all the activities he's got going on. So it's always a fun time talking to David about all the wonderful writing he does. So everybody just hang tight. We're going to come back right after these commercial breaks. You're listening to Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Amazing Pet Expos is coming to a city near you. Admission is always free, and your pet is welcome. Shopping, adoptions, free nail trims, discounted shots and microchipping, agility, a pet costume contest, and much more. Plus, meet the guys from Animal Planet's hit TV series Tank and Pit Boss. Online at AmazingPetExpos.com.
Bring your pets to the Pet Expo.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. And joining me now is author David Rosenfelt. David, welcome to the show.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
Oh, great to have you back on here. Congratulations on another success. Lessons from Tara. Tell us a little bit about the book.
I wrote a book about 4 years ago called Dog Tripping, which was about our trip from California to Maine with 25 dogs on 3 RVs.
Right.
And in it, I put quite a bit of stuff about rescues that we've made over the years and what they've meant to us and what it was like in California rescuing dogs. And there was readers sort of told me that they wanted more of that. So so Lessons from Tara is like a sort of a sequel to Dog Tripping without the trip. And it's about our experiences in rescue and what we've learned from our descent into dog lunacy.
And you have to remind all the listeners that what is your grand total up to right at the moment?
Well, actually, right now we're at a historic low. We have 18 dogs in our house. And the reason it's so low, actually, is because we live in Maine now, and there's just not a rescue problem here. I mean, it's remarkable. So we only rescue, dog, like we got a blind golden a couple of months ago, and, if the dog is epileptic or very old, if the shelters can't place them, then they come to our house.
There you go. Isn't that amazing? And I think we may have talked about this, but what have you found out? I mean, obviously, California, the situation there is much different than Maine. And then I'm in Atlanta in the South, which is totally different. Obviously, we do a fair share of moving animals to the Northeast. But talk to us, first of all, about that dynamic. Then we'll delve back into the book.
Well, if you're talking about New England, I really can't explain it. I mean, but it's remarkable. There's a whole different mindset. I mean, everybody has a dog, and they're just, the shelters, you could take 10 shelters in Maine, and you wouldn't get as many dogs as any one of LA County shelters in California. I mean, it's a whole different mindset. And I did a benefit for a rescue group in New Hampshire a few months ago, and they bring 40 dogs a week up from South Carolina, and they're all spoken for before they get here. And these are dogs that would not have survived down there. So it's really amazing.
That is incredible. So do you think it's more of the number of animals per household, or is it more the education for like spay and neutering, these type of things?
I think the spaying and neutering is better here, but I'm not sure about that. But it's a mindset towards how people feel about their animals. I mean, in Southern California, we had people turn in 9-10-year-old golden a 9-year-old golden retriever because the dog could no longer keep up with the guy when he went jogging. It's like it's a different mindset, and it's sort of counterintuitive because here, like most people hunt, but when it comes to dogs, they're just it's a different world. In California, we would have 25 dogs in our house, and workmen would come in, and it would be like a deer caught in headlights. And here in Maine, people come in like it's another day at the office. I mean, it's a whole different attitude.
That's right. You only have 18? Come on, there's room for at least 6 more.
Yeah. Oh, we have more. We had 25 when we moved here.
Well, tell us a little bit more about the book Lessons from Tara. I know you said it was a compilation of what you learned from this trip, the long cross-country trip.
More about what we learned from rescuing dogs over time and having the dogs. And most of it is funny. Most of it is, how do you sleep? You learn how to sleep in a bed with a Mastiff, a Bernese Mountain Dog, a Great Pyrenees, and 3 Labs, which is what we do every night. But there's some serious stuff. There's some, these dogs die, and we rescue seniors. So if we get them when they're 10 years old, we lose them pretty fast, and you sort of have to learn how to handle that. So it's all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And when you talk about lessons, pick a lesson that maybe you didn't know before you started writing the book or before you started getting, obviously, even deeper into rescue.
Well, it's too late for me now, but I've learned that if you're a young guy and you want to meet women, rescuing dogs is the way to go. I can tell you that. I mean, I used to, when I first got married, my wife had this great dog, Tara, the one who started us on this descent. And I used to take the dog for a walk, and we'd sit at Starbucks. And women would come over to me and talk. Right now, this is not something that usually happens to me. So and then when you go to mobile adoptions with dogs that are up for adoptions, if you tell them you rescued a dog from death row, it's like it makes them think you're sensitive in some fashion, which again never happened to me. So while I'm now happily married and 130 years old, so it's too late for me, but I'm telling you, it's the way to go.
It's a good lesson. Forget the dating sites. Yeah. Just get a dog and get out there and mix it up. I like it. Yep. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and continue our conversation with David Rosenfelt. Talk to him about his book, Lessons from Tara, as well as his other writings. And I want to talk to him about the foundation as well. So everybody just hang tight. You're listening to Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause. Well, 4 to be exact.
Hi, I'm Dana Humphrey, also known as the Pet Lady. I travel from coast to coast to pet trade shows and consumer events to scout out what the hottest, hippest, and most unique pet products are on the planet, bringing you tips and tricks from top veterinarians, groomers, trainers on how to safely travel and live happily with your pets. The Pet Lady will be in a city near you, showing off the latest and greatest tech pet gadgets, cozy comforts, and fab gift ideas for man's and woman's best friend. You can learn more at thepetlady.net or connect socially and tweet with me at PetLadyWorld.
Hey everybody, this is Tim Link, the host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Got some exciting news for you here today. My audiobook is now available. Wagging Tails, Every Animal Has a Tail is now available in audiobook form through audible.com, amazon.com, and iTunes. It's a collection of 32 conversations I've had with the animals. It's a fun, interesting, heartfelt book that's suitable for all age groups. So everybody pick up a copy of the audiobook, Wagging Tails, Every Animal Has a Tail. You'll be glad you did.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Here talking to award-winning author David Rosenfelt. Now, this book obviously is the lessons you've learned and going a little bit more into what you learned about your cross-country trip and rescue, these type of things. But obviously that is a much different departure from what you're probably best known for, your mystery novels. Talk to us a little bit about the challenges or the ease of writing a book like this compared to putting together one of your fabulous mystery novels.
Well, obviously, it's easier in that it's me talking. Okay, it's really my voice. Now, most of my mystery novels are part of a series with a lawyer named Andy Carpenter, and he's sort of my alter ego as well. So that's mostly my voice. But Lessons from Tara and Dog Tripping, which are nonfiction, are strictly my voice. So, I don't have to figure out where the story's going. It's much easier to write this. The fiction requires much more imagination, obviously. But it's also, when I write the nonfiction, which are the stories of my life, I definitely feel closer to it. Like if I read a good review of it, I'm more pleased than if I read a good review of the fiction.
Right, because it is your life, just like you said, it is your life.
Yeah.
How do you narrow down the stories? Because obviously, I write a lot of nonfiction myself, and and a lot of storytelling, and trying to narrow down which stories to tell and how much completion you put into each story, or because you don't want to drag on, but yet you want to get the impact out there. What was your process of going through that?
Well, like most of my writing, I wouldn't even say I had a process. I wrote till it felt like it was, I had said enough about it. There's a couple of places in the book which are more serious where I try to avoid lecturing, but about, rescuing senior dogs and what happens to them and so on. And, I just did it until I thought I made my point.
And then you moved on to the next one.
Yes.
Okay, very good.
There's only maybe 15 or 20% of the book is serious/sad. The rest is hopefully funny.
So by the time you got done with Lessons from Tara, did you feel you've gotten all you could say about the topic and the lessons?
I've run out of what I know about dogs. That's for sure. I couldn't write a 10-page book on it after that.
But now you got to come to the South and do another dog tripping part 2, I think.
Well, I just did a tour, actually, not in Atlanta. I was among many places around the country. I was in Savannah and Raleigh and Ocala, so I was down your way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The dynamic definitely in rescue here, being heavily involved in it myself, is much different, like you had mentioned, than in the Northeast or out on the West Coast.
There's great rescue groups down there. There really are.
There are. And, and I find that nationwide. I've been a rescue for 2 decades at least now, and both running organizations as well as volunteering, and every town I go to for a speaking event, book signing, whatever it may be, I team up with a rescue. And I've seen it grow, and not only the number of rescue organizations out there, but sort of I don't know if I want to use the word quality, but how well they're organized. Wouldn't you say that's increased and gotten much better?
All the signings I do are benefits for rescue groups as well, so I meet a lot of them, and they really have their act together. I mean, they're terrific. And there's a dog subculture among people around the country that's remarkable. But if you ever checked out and you may have, when they ship dogs from down south up north, we got one time. So I was on this email chain as they had this train going north. From people will drive it for 2 hours, hand the dogs off for another 2 hours, and so on. And it's like a military operation. I mean, they really have this stuff nailed down.
Yeah, got it to a precision. I've got a couple of good friends of mine that do that type of work, and it's almost a weekly activity for them.
Yeah.
And they volunteer their time to do it. And it's amazing how, trying to corral 2 little dogs that I have, let alone corral a whole bunch of rescue dogs and take them cross country It's
a great thing that they do, though. I mean, because, I don't know for sure, but I would think that most of the dogs that they bring north would have died in shelters. Otherwise, they wouldn't bring them. I mean, they clearly couldn't have been placed. And these dogs come and have great lives up here. It's a terrific thing they do.
Absolutely. I agree. So tell us a little bit about the Tara Foundation and what's going on with that and how people can get involved or at least be aware of what's happening.
Yeah, there's not so much going on with it now. What happened was in California, we were volunteering in shelters, and it became too passive. So we started our own foundation. We called it Tara Foundation, and we rescued about 4,000 dogs. And if a dog was too ill or old that we rescued to be placed in a home, then they came home as our pet. So that's how we got so many. But since we moved to Maine, there's just no need for it. I mean, we don't have to place dogs in homes. So what we really do is the shelters here know us, and if they have a dog that's ill or old or whatever to the point where they can't place it, then those are the ones we take in. But once we take them in, unlike in California, once we take them in, that's it. They're our dogs.
There you go. Sounds great. All right, David, after everybody picks up a copy of Lessons from Tara, Life Advice from the World's Most Brilliant Dog, what do you hope the main walkaway point is? What do you hope they get out of the book?
I think, obviously, in all my books, even in the mysteries, my main character runs a rescue foundation. And, I try not to proselytize, although in Lessons from Tara I do. But I just want people to understand that, let me put it this way. Before I got involved in this, I naturally assumed that if a dog was in a shelter and you take it, then you're inheriting somebody else's problem. The dog wouldn't have been in the shelter if it didn't have a problem in the first place. And that's just a complete fantasy. And that's what I want people to understand, that rescuing a dog is not compromising in any way. You're not taking a dog that somebody else rejected for any good reason. These dogs are great, and they deserve to be rescued. That's really what I want people to understand.
Absolutely. Good message. Good message. All right, David, where can people find out more about you and pick up a copy of the book and keep track of all your wonderful activities?
Well, they can pick up a copy of the book anywhere, any bookstore, Amazon, or whatever. And, I guess that, my website has some information. I don't pay quite as much attention to it as I should, but it has any information people would need.
All right, very good. And we'll share that with everybody out there and post it on our site as well. Everybody pick up a copy of the book. You're going to have fun with it. It's going to be educational. It's going to be heartfelt. Great job with it again, David.
Thank you.
Book's called Lessons from Tara, Life Advice from the World's Most Brilliant Dog, David Rosenfelt. David, thanks for coming back on the show. We look forward to hearing from you again real soon.
Always a pleasure. Thanks.
All right, well, we're coming to the end of the show today. I want to thank everybody for listening to Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Also like to thank our sponsors and producers for making the show possible. To find out more about me, Tim Link, and the other guests I've interviewed on the Animal Rights Show, you can visit PetLifeRadio.com, click on the Animal Rights icon, and download and listen to all the wonderful authors and writers that we've interviewed on the show. And while you're at it, be sure to check out all the wonderful hosts and shows on Pet Life Radio. That's PetLifeRadio.com. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas for this show, please email me, tim@PetLifeRadio.com. I'll be sure to answer your questions and entertain your comments and bring on the people you want to hear from most onto the show. So until next time, write a great story about the animals in your life. Share it in a blog, article, or in a book. And who knows, you may be the next guest on Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Have a great day.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.